The first stage of analytical reading. We have now stated and explained the first four rules of reading. We have now stated and explained the first four rules of reading. There are rules of analytical reading, although if you inspect a book well before reading it, that will help you to apply them. There are rules, they are rules of analytical reading, although if you inspect a book well before reading it, that will help you to, if you inspect a book before you read it, that will help you to apply them. It is important at this point to recognize that these first four rules are connected. It is important at this point to recognize that these first four rules are important, are connected, and form a group of rules having a single aim. Together, they provide the reader with who applies them with the knowledge of a book's structure. Together, they provide reader who applies them with the knowledge of books. Together, they provide the reader who applies them with the knowledge of book's structure. When you have applied them to a book, or indeed to anything fairly lengthy and difficult that you may be reading, you will have accomplished the first stage of reading it analytically. You should not take the term stage in a chronological sense. You should not take the term stage in chronological order sense, unless perhaps at the very beginning of your exercise as an analytical reader. That is, it is not necessary to read a book through in order to apply the first four rules, then to read it again and again in order to apply the other rules. The practical reader accomplishes all these stages at once. Nevertheless, you must realize that knowing a book's structure does constitute a stage towards reading it analytically. Another way to say this is that applying these first four rules helps you to answer the first basic question about book. You will recall that the first question is, what is the book about as a whole? You will also recall that we said that this means discovering leading theme of the book and how the author develops this theme in an orderly way by subdividing it into essential subordinate themes or topics. Clearly, applying the first four rules of reading will provide most of what you need to know in order to answer this question. Although it should be pointed out that your answer will improve in accuracy as you proceed to apply the other rules and to answer the other questions. Since we have now described the first stage of analytical reading, let us pause a moment to write out the first four rules in order under the appropriate heading for review. The first stage of analytical reading are rules for finding what a book is about. First, classify the book according to kind and subject matter. First, classify the book according to subject, kind, and subject matter. State what the whole book is about with utmost brevity. State what the book is about with utmost brevity. Enumerate its major parts in their order and relation, and outline these parts as you have outlined the whole. Enumerate its major parts in their order and relation, and outline these parts as you have outlined the whole. Define the problems. Problems, the author is define the problems or problem or problems. The author is trying to solve.